Welcome to another edition of Spartan Spotlight on RubberRunSports.com. I am John Moore, joined as always by Rob Giampapa, and the star of our show, West Springfield head coach Jason Eldridge. Coach Dridge, we are at the midway point of this season, which must seem a little longer to you than to most.
Lived a few years this last 5 weeks, totally.
Man, take us through this week.
Stonebridge presented a lot of problems for us as far as their scheme. I mean, they run, single wing, as you guys see, so they line up foot to foot, and they do have a spread element to their offense. But, it wasn't their offense that tripped us up as much as their defense. Their defensive line is the best we've seen, and maybe the best we will see. They had a couple guys that really we couldn't even touch. But we started the game off well, like we do normally. Got a couple stops on fourth downs that, they made decisions inside their own territory to go for, to get the first down. They were unable to do that in their run game. We could not move an inch on their defense. And it was 8-0 into the first quarter. We still felt like we were in good shape. But the way they run their scheme, it wears on your team, both mentally and physically. So they're changing they started to change their formations a little bit. They couldn't get anything up the middle in the first half. They went to the edges, found a little something there, drove down a couple times, got some scores. We couldn't battle that in the first half. So we went down, it was a wide margin, I would say, 24, something like that, 32 maybe in the first half. We came back, scored a couple touchdowns, got ourselves, some momentum. We were kind of working a little bit. And then we blew some opportunities. They had a fumble we couldn't get on midfield. We also had an interception right in our hands in the end zone as they were driving in to score that we couldn't really take out. And then we started to sustain some injuries. And, the way they run their stuff, you have to be on your game for 4 quarters. And we just got worn down at that point and couldn't muster any more offense to come back. Well, I thought we did a better job. We did some things better this week than we've done last week. Like I said, I thought our defense came to play a little bit. Our offense let us down, our offensive line, which hadn't been the case the last couple weeks. Seems like we can't get both sides of the ball moving in the right direction. One week it's the offense doing great, and the next week it's the defense kind of helping out and stepping up. So, I hope we can try to put it together this week.
Well, in back-to-back weeks, turnovers have been an issue. I mean, we talked about the turnover in the second half against South County. This week, this week that kind of presented itself again.
Yep.
What can you do as a coach to try to get those things rectified?
Well, obviously you work your ball security drills in practice during your individual times. And then we also have really tried to do a better job with the quarterbacks and the receivers making their reads better. On defense, we have put an emphasis on our team periods and getting 11 to the ball and stripping it. We got a couple strips last week, so that worked out for us in very bad conditions for an offense like ours personally, but really catering to their offense. We just couldn't get on the ball. And when you're losing as a team, those things generally don't go your way. Winning teams find ways to get those turnovers and fall on those balls. Losing teams find ways to not. And if you go back to the film, I can show you the clip. I mean, we had 3 guys jumping on it and the ball's just squirting out. Like, what do you do at that point? So I think what we have to do is mentally just be strong. 1-4 is a disaster, and we didn't think we'd be here after 5 weeks. We knew it was a tough road, the first half of the schedule, and it lightens a tad, but not much. West Potomac this week, very good team. And we have to keep on our P's and Q's to try to give ourselves a chance to maybe make a run at this in the back half of the season. So,
Coach, we've known you for a long time. We know there's no quitting you. We presume there's no quitting your kids either. But what do you tell kids, such high expectations, 1-4, midway through the season, so you still have another half a season to go. But what do you tell them to kind of keep them up at this point?
Well, I think for us, this is just me, and you guys can identify with this a little bit too from your experience as kids. Not everybody gets to play football, right? And enjoy high school sports, period. And I think what gets lost sometimes when you're not winning is, the negativity. And, for me, I want the kids to enjoy this process. I want them, it's easy to work hard and be engaged when you're a winning team. That's an easy thing to do. When you're a losing team, it's not easy. And it's hard to keep every day the grind and trying to get better and better. And right now, we have to fight our way out of the basement. We're in last place, and I have never personally been in last place before. This is a first for me in 13 seasons, both basketball and football. Even my worst teams were not the worst in our league. Right now, we're the worst team, and what we have to do is try to work our way out of that hole, and it can still be done. And so what I'm trying to tell the kids is, enjoy the environment. This week, right, we have a 50th anniversary game. Yeah. All the home state championship teams from the history of the school are coming. We have our first Hall of Fame class. We got a new scoreboard up. Yeah. We bought them a whole new tunnel to run out of. There's a whole lot of really exciting things that are happening this week, and I want them to enjoy that, to remember that as a positive. And I want them to, understand that when things are down, and this is in life, we've all been in these places. When your career is in jeopardy, you work your way out of it. And it's hard to do that on a day-to-day basis. So I think, honestly, this is a good skill for them transitioning to their lives. When they get to college or wherever they're going, my players, they're going to have ups and downs in life. It's how you respond to those that makes you the person you are. So that's kind of where I am with this. My hope is that we get the one win we need to spark what we're doing, because we have the talent, we just don't have a lot of it, and we're muscling through some things emotionally and mentally. So I'm doing the best I can. Yeah. Right. So.
Well, you got West Potomac coming in.
Good
like
team.
You said they're a very good team. They went to OT with Lake Braddock.
Yep. Well coached. Very well coached. Yep.
They've got that guy, Diamond Cleveland, number 8.
I think he's arguably the best running back in our league. Yes. Braddock's got a couple good ones, and Annandale has a good one. But, this kid is shifty, and he knows their inside zone scheme perfect. And he can cut back. His vision is great. He's a nightmare in the open field, and that caters to our weakness. We don't do well in space, right, defensively. So we've got to come up with some things to kind of close his element down. Their quarterback is better than last year, at least what he shows on film. He's a lot shiftier. He can move within the pocket better. He can scramble and get out now. Looks like he takes hits better too. Everything they present for us is a problem. And that's to the credit to their kids and what they've done as a staff over there. And I know they're excited about their team. They're going to come in yapping their heads off to us. Just like always. So we've got to be able to emotionally handle that. It's going to be a battle, and I hope my kids bring their A game, because if they don't, we're going to get run out of there. So,
Well, Coach, we appreciate you coming on as always, and
hopefully better news.
For a better result next week. Always hoping for a better result.
News.
But I think these kids have the right guy trying to lead the ship out of the basement right now. So.
Well, it's hard for me to see that sometimes, because I feel like I'm failing a lot the community and their expectations of me and our team. But, thankfully or unthankfully, John, I've been here before with both basketball and football. For better or worse. I have. But, at the end of the day, I love my guys, and I want them to get the most out of this experience. And I don't want them to get down on themselves. We just got to keep working. So we're going to keep working and make it the best we can make it.
That's right.
Well, Coach, we'll see you next week.
Yes, you will.
Join us again for Spartan Spotlight. Coach Jason Eldridge, Rob G. and Papa. I'm John Moore. We'll see you guys next week.
And nobody can cover number 1.
Nope.
Nobody can cover number 1.
That's all we got, brother.